in 1853, died in France at 37 in 1890. He only painted for 10 short years, yet left behind about 2,100 works sincere. He sparked the start of post-impressionism's rise and planted expressionism, seed for future eyes. Supported by his brother Theo year by year, in his lifetime sold just one piece dear. The Red Vineyard, his only sale. 44 years after exiting the unnoticed by the world game, Irving Stone's lust for life brought him fame. The whole world finally knew his name. Pain endures, la tristesse, durera, toujours. Pain endures, la tristesse, durera, toujours. His father was a pastor, strong in conviction. 3 of his uncles, art dealers by tradition. His mother, daughter of a master binder, planted art seeds, made him kinder. At 16, an art firm he did join, benefiting from family ties to earn survival's coin. Moved to London at 20 like a dream, with a salary that made others scream. Fell for his landlady's daughter so sweet, became erratic, love bittersweet. Sent to Paris, emotion still unsteady, dismissed later but new path not ready. Then worked as a teacher, then a pastor tried, but like rising tides they soon subsided. Determined to wield the brush bold and great against the canvas of fate. Pain endures, la tristesse, durera, toujours. Pain endures, la tristesse, durera, toujours. At 27, he studied in Brussels Academy, anatomy and perspective, calculations without emotions, directive. At 28, back to Etton's home, proposed to his cousin, newly widowed alone. Infuriated the family with outrage, they sent him to The Hague to turn the page. Mauve, the realist painter known, guided him through charcoal, pastels, oils shone. He hated plaster statues, fervor turned poor. Fell out with Mauve, closed that door. At 29, love again unapproved. His family's fury once more moved. Pain endures, la tristesse, durera, toujours. Pain endures, la tristesse, durera, toujours. At 30, to Nilicon, his parents' new place, painted peasants' hardships face to face, depicted the rural poor, somber plight, the potato eater's bleakness in sight. Another love unapproved, almost a life removed. In spring at 32, his father died, leaving him in anguish, deeply hurt inside. In winter, to Belgium he did stray, indifferent to his disheveled way. Immersed in color theory, Rubens' ukiyo-e sway. At Antwerp's academy, views did fray. No need to reconcile, he walked away. Pain endures, la tristesse, durera, toujours. Pain endures, la tristesse, durera, toujours. Winter to spring, to Paris did go, met impressionist idols, creative flow. Monticelli's influence, vivid and profound, colors brightest, strokes less bound. After moving to Arles, met Signac there, tried pointillism, a groundbreaking flair. Colors separated on the canvas, yet blended in the eye, so fine. Dotted parks, restaurants, insane. Pain la tristesse, durera, toujours. Pain endure, la tristesse, durera, toujours. At nearly 35, he went to Arles to feel alive. Wheat fields, mills, sunflowers, sunlit, alive. Brilliant yellows, cool purples, chiding his greedy eyes. Rented 4 rooms in the yellow house, hoped it'd be a creative lighthouse. Painted 4 paintings of sunflowers bright, welcomed Guggen his delight. From close friends to verbal duels, locals gossip about those two fools. He cut off his left ear, gifted to a 17-year-old girl. Sweet dear Gauguin summoned Theo, then slipped away, no echo. Pain endures, la tristesse durera toujours. 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 Afterward, his mental state frequently swayed, in and out of hospital, stayed, left, returned. At 36, in St. Paul de Mausolee's room, he painted fervently, chased away gloom. The bloom in the garden endured as tender irises seen by later generations. The moon gracing the hospital window endured as the starry night, admired by countless nations. Pain endures, la tristesse durera toujours. Pain endures, la tristesse durera toujours. At 37, to Auvers-sur-Oise he went, under Dr. Geschet's care, well meant. Painted portraits of Geschet, one to be noted 100 years later. 82.5 million quoted. In July, wheat field with crows took flight, surging sky, turbulent loam in sight. Flocks of those crows drifting black. On the 27th he was shot, a life's thread did slack. In the early hours of July 29th, his soul drifted back. His last words, la tristesse durera toujours. Pain endure, la tristesse durera toujours. Pain endure, la tristesse durera toujours. Pain endures, la tristesse durera toujours. Pain endures, la tristesse durera toujours. The bloom in the garden endured as tender irises seen by later generations. The moon gracing the hospital window endured as the starry night, admired by countless nations.